Hello, everybody. Reverend Order here. Reverend Order here. I am a member of the TWWRN Roundtable. I've been part of that set for many years. Uh, the one thing that really grinds my gears, folks, is that the one thing we get tired of, that's disinformation, because everybody gets that. Everybody gets that on the mainstream media, propaganda, social media. Even the small. Um, but the thing is, there's millions and millions of analysts out there doing their job. And the one thing that we fight against, that's disinformation, right? I do a lot of information research on finding try to connect the dots. If we hear something, we'll go and we'll look for it. We'll find something on some place where we can find and connect the dots. But we've had two roundtables where we've had conspiracy anonymous twice. Just last week and the week before. I've met him many years ago. Never really talked to the guy, but I follow him during my earlier times. And got a chance to talk to the guy for the first time, ever. See, anonymous, their one pet peeve is no disin whatsoever, no disinformation at all, none. Straight up, legit information. Okay. Now, thing is, we've tried. We're told a couple of things. We're trying to find out, okay, where all this stuff. And one of the things was anonymous released Epstein files. Okay, so where do we look? It tells us Google, DuckDuckGo, all this bullshit. Okay, so I look for it. Also, I look for it in different areas. Like, so, it only says Department of Justice releases Epstein files. Right? I asked, do you think it's on 4chan? Nothing on 4chan. Tried to go. Nothing there. Nothing to corroborate what he told us. So I searched, I looked. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. DOJ released Epstein files. That's all it says. So the thing is, I one of the things is that I'm still like, dude. Then he says to about my tin man, he says he got in some trouble, got in some deep shit, whatever. So I'm here thinking, okay, why is it that we're he's telling us this shit, and talking, and I'm trying to think, okay, why is he saying this stuff? Like, okay, well, here's this, and we're looking, we're trying to understand. Okay, it sounds big. I mean, he's talking big, but the thing is, how credible is the information? How actual credible is the information? Because we're asking questions and stuff like that, and all of a sudden, like, if I mean, you got a little itchy if you mention QAnon. Okay, right? He got a little itchy. He got a little itchy when QAnon was mentioned. Wow, why are you getting a little itchy over QAnon, man? And I'm saying this, and I'm going, why are you getting thinking in my head, like, why are you getting itchy over QAnon, dude? Um, so I'm like, okay, well, it is this what you want to do? Is this because of, I'm thinking that, is this where you want to go? Like, I think it's more of discrediting TWWRN, in my opinion. I think it's talking talking outside of his neck to discredit the Roundtable. You know, I mean, the thing is, I mean, I haven't talked to the guy before. Got a chance to see him, uh, during the got a chance to hear from him on the Roundtable, and I'm thinking, okay, well, hope this is goes good, because you hear all the stuff. And so many questions going through my mind within the last two broadcasts here. I'm thinking, okay, something that wasn't right at all. Um, let's see here. It's not really. Um, let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see here. The thing is, I mean, disinformation, man, it's not cool, man. It's not cool. And we're being told that Anonymous released Epstein files, right? We're like, okay, let's. I'm thinking, like, did it actually happen? I mean, I've looked everywhere, and, like, there's nothing about Anonymous releasing any Epstein files. I've been holding in my thoughts for the past 2 weeks. Just really. This is the problem: is that disinformation is being used to discredit people. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, why is it that we're hearing from this guy? Thinking maybe he has something that maybe good information that we could share with you guys. Nothing, nothing, not a fucking thing, nothing. Okay, not a goddamn thing, man. Just complete bullshit. And because the thing is, but my brother Tin Man, he mentioned QAnon. All of a sudden, CA is getting a little bit kind of itchy on the bunghole a little bit, huh, dude? Like uh, that don't mention he's getting a little itchy. Like my question is my question in my head here is like, okay, I'm thinking QAnon is kind of like Dread Pirate Roberts. Okay, Dread Pirate Roberts, in a way. And I'm thinking again, thinking like, okay, well, why are you getting a little bit itchy over QAnon? You know, like hasn't been anything from QAnon because anybody can be QAnon like anybody can be Dread Pirate Roberts, or anybody can be anonymous. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I hope the information is legit because if I look, it's not legit. I'm going to be super pissed because if anonymous somehow, so in some way, got a hold of all this information about Jeffrey Epstein, that would have been awesome. That would have been cool. That would have been like the biggest leak ever. So I look. Nothing. DOJ releases Epstein files. Okay, if now my thing is, what about the missing seconds from where Jeffrey Epstein's cell was? From what we heard, there's some missing seconds of the footage, edited footage. So I look. I'm like, I'm like really getting like, dude, I'm like really getting pissed because he's telling us one thing. I go look. I look everywhere, all stuff, So I'm looking, I'm thinking, like, okay, well, dude, you are fucking with us, man. You are basically fucking with us to make you sound like it has all this information, which you don't have it. It's all bullshit. It's all talk, hogwash, man. And I mean, he brought disinformation to the roundtable to discredit TWWRN. Like, dude, we've been doing this for years, man. This year, we began early to like mid to late January. We kicked off all fucking year. It's doing pretty good because we've been hitting things that nobody has the balls to talk about. No, we did a 4 hour broadcast with my dear friend. 4 hour broadcast, man. Like, dude, and nearly 4 hour broadcast that really hit the pulse button. Hit the pulse button, man, for 4 hours, man. Hit the pulse button hit every fucking nerve, man. And that was like 6-7 months ago, dude. Like fuck, man. And it pissed somebody off who's also a victim of gang stalking there. Also a victim, but also Burger Boy. But we bring CA, Conspiracy Anonymous, last week and the week before. Just this past weekend and the weekend before. And when I'm hearing this stuff, I'm thinking, okay, now we got him here. Okay, now we got him. Okay, Anonymous allegedly released every file on Epstein. Okay, well, okay, okay, we got him. I'm thinking, okay, we got him. Where do I look? Because Google, if you look on Google, it will not show shit. Only thing it will say is DOJ released Epstein files. Now, the thing is, if the files are released, okay, they're going to be redacted. That means blacked out. Okay, blacked out. Why? It's to protect financial barons, rubber barons, politicians, media outlet people, the who's who, Russia, even people of other across the world, even celebrities, like Bill Gates and Bill and Hillary Clinton. And so the thing is, we're told this, right? Anonymous released Epstein files, right? So I'm thinking, okay, let's make sure this is good here, because if it is, in my opinion, this would be the biggest leak dump ever Anonymous would ever have done since the Snowden revelation. Like, fuck, this is. But I want to make sure it's legit. I didn't want to jump the gun or the Grand Canyon or the shark in the ocean. I want to make sure that everything is legit, everything's all squared away, every egg is in this basket, all that shit, So I look. Absolutely fucking nothing, man. Does not say anything about Anonymous releasing anything on Epstein, If they did, it would be the biggest leak ever since Snowden. Okay, 12 years ago. That would have been awesome. Never happened. So, like, dude, you say that Anonymous did this. There were names released a couple years ago on a list on TikTok, right? So I'm thinking, okay, like at the end, like, he's fucking with us. He's fucking with us to discredit us, Like, why? We're talking about important stuff that nobody has the balls to do. We're going head first, diving in the deep end. We're deep diving near the Mariana Trench to tell you guys and talk about things that you guys want to hear about. That's important, And people are they're asking questions, and I'm sitting here listening, of what he's talking about. I'm thinking, okay, is this legit? Is this? I mean, is there any credibility here? Because if there's nothing there, why are you talking anyway? Why are you bringing this up? Why are you bringing this up? Because I came across information about could black-eyed children be have any ties to the Men in Black? I wanted to debunk that. I wanted to talk about it, but also get somewhere with where it can be debunked. Because do I think there's a connection between the black-eyed children and the Men in Black? I don't know, but I would like to talk about it, kind of debunk it a little bit here, But the other thing is, if you bring something up, and when you're asked, where can we find this? Well, Google let to go. Dude, I looked on Google, nothing there. All it says is DOJ released Epstein files. So it is. I looked on go. Same thing. DOJ released Epstein files. So basically, we're getting disinformation from this guy who brought to the Roundtable. I'm thinking at the end, like towards the end, like he's cutting out each time, because me and Tin Man we're getting close to somewhere where he's getting uncomfortable. He's itching, So I'm thinking, okay, well, I mean, I've looked, Tim Allen looked, I'm like, dude, I mean, like, dude, there's nothing there. I've looked, because that's what I do on the table. I look for any information, like, okay, well, so I'm looking like, okay, well, did Anonymous release FC files? No, Anonymous did not release FC files. DOJ released FC files. I'm thinking, like, if this is legit, again, if this is legit, that means Anonymous did a straight up leak ever since Snowden. That's if it happened. I mean a Alaskan size if it happened. So nothing, nothing at all. And I'm thinking, like, this is fucking nuts. Okay, this is absolutely fucking nuts here, man. I'm thinking, like, dude, why are you telling us this when we looked, and when we mentioned QAnon, for example, here, he gets fucking itchy. Like, dude, why are you getting a little bit itchy over QAnon? QAnon is kind of like saying you're Dread Pirate Roberts, man. Anybody can be Dread Pirate Roberts. Like, anybody can be a QAnon, Like, and I'm thinking, okay, dude, what's up? You so I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, okay, there has to be something. Um, there has to be something, like, because the thing is, if information is out there, right? We need to get to the meat and potatoes of this information, man. Um, and I mean that, because the fact is, if this information is being thrown around to discredit, okay, you have to really think, okay, really think here. Um, you have to really think here, okay, really hard here, man. Because and I mean nobody wants disinformation. Okay, they're going to look for information where they could corroborate, kind of make sure that things are legit here. Because if there's not, then whoever tells us this information is making an ass of themselves, right? They're assuming because they assume making an ass out of you and me. You know, it's just that I mean, and I'm wondering if the collective can trust this guy. I'm wondering if the collective can trust conspiracy anonymous. Can they trust the guy? Um, I mean, he got he got in contact with my buddy Tin Man and pretty much tried to make an excuse over the disconnection and shit. I said too much. No, I didn't. Whether you said too much or too little, you still brought disinformation. That's why we question the guy. Like, okay, and that's the question. That's the thing we did. We questioned the information when we asked where can we look, and when we looked, there was nothing there. You know, so when I researched, when I looked on Google and DuckDuckGo and 4chan, nothing there. It only said DOJ releases Epstein files. Okay, let's look again. Okay, let's look again. Perfect. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. We're going to go to DuckDuckGo. Okay, we're on DuckDuckGo. Okay, ask the question: has anonymous ever released the Epstein files? Okay. Okay. Now, here's the response. There is no confirmed evidence that Anonymous has ever released the Epstein files. However, they have claimed to have documents tying various public figures, including Donald Trump, to Jeffrey Epstein, but those claims remain unverified. That's from Wikipedia. Okay. All right. Allegations of document release. Anonymous. Uh, allegations of document releases. Anonymous, the hacktivist group, has been linked to various leaks, however, involving high-profile individuals, including Jeffrey Epstein, that reportedly released documents that allegedly connected Epstein to several prominent figures, including Donald Trump. However, the the authenticity, okay, let's see here, the authenticity. Let's see here, and credibility of these documents have been questioned. Nature of the claims. Documents released by Anonymous, including claims of rape videos, including both Epstein and Trump, both allegations have not been substantiated with credible evidence, and many remain skeptical about their validity. Official release by the DOJ, in contrast, the U.S. Department of Justice has officially released thousands of pages of documents related to Epstein. These files include evidence of his criminal activities and connections to various individuals. The DOJ's release is part of the broader efforts to provide transparency regarding Epstein's oh shit. Let's see here. These files include evidence of his criminal activity and the connections to various individuals. The DOJ's release is part of a broader effort to provide transparency regarding Epstein's network and the investigation surrounding him. Conclusion. While Anonymous has claimed to release documents related to Epstein, the official release by the DOJ are the primary source of verified information regarding his activities or connections. The claims made by Anonymous should be approached with caution due to their unverifying nature. But here's a question: why Anonymous fails to expose the Epstein secrets? Anonymous faces growing doubts. Users question their relevancy. A wave of skepticism has emerged regarding the hacktivist group Anonymous, with many people claiming it has lost its edge. Commentators express frustration, suggesting any real effort to expose the big powerful figures has vanished, raising concerns about its current purpose in 2025. The group, once seen as a powerful digital ally, now faces widespread criticism for its perceived inactivity. Many people argued that since its peak years ago, Anonymous has not been able to make significant waves, especially regarding high-profile cases like that of Jeffrey Epstein. If Anonymous was real, they'd be undertaking a unholy crusade against online pedophiles, one Commander states, emphasizing the shift from bold action to merely cringy social media posts. The sentiment is echoed in numerous discussions across forums, suggested that a stark contrast to earlier era fierce activism. Key criticism: lack of action. Many believe Anonymous is merely a shadow of its former self, often post vague threats instead of concrete action. Meaning that Anonymous is talking the talk, not walking the walk. Perceived compromise. There's a strong belief the group has been compromised since '07, casting doubts on its ability to operate independently. Public mistrust. Commentators argue that the group seemed focused on cash rather than genuine activism, highlighting a notable change in its motivation. Anonymous has been dead since 2013. They just moved on and got jobs. One detractor noted questions the organization's effectiveness and relevance. One detractor noted questioning the organization's effectiveness and relevancy. Despite the growing voices against the methods, a number of individuals still cling to hope, suggesting that if the group were to refocus it could tackle ongoing social issues they have got serious. If they got serious, they could disrupt powerful networks and upend status quos. The passionate reporter highlights emerging themes and key takeaways. Sentiment shift. A substantial portion of the public sees Anonymous as an effect. Again, sentiment shift. A substantial portion of the public sees Anonymous as ineffectual today, with many commenting on their inaction. Historical content. Users recall a time when their group could tangle actions. Notable quote: they're just teenagers with a free time, that's it. People are increasingly questioning the authenticity and intentions behind Anonymous, pointing to a need of revival, of grit and purpose. How will this sustain the criticism influence the group's evolution with the coming months? Predicting future activism trends. And as Anonymous grapples with public skepticism, a group faces mountain of pressure to revitalize its mission. Experts estimate the strong chance around 65% that the collective will attempt a resurgent in activism in the next year. This reinvigoration may lead to strategic campaigns targeting high-profile issues like corruption and exploitation, aiming to recall the former notoriety. However, with genuine commitment are clear objective. This effort could fall flat, leading to further disillusion among those who once saw the group as digital warriors. Reflection from the digital underground. The sentiment surrounding Anonymous today invokes memories of the underground punk scene in the late '70s. Initially, the symbol of rebellion and change, many bands fade as commercial interest took over, giving rise to generic sound that left fans yearning for authenticity, just as some punk icon returned to the roots. Igniting a revival with their community, Anonymous might find a path forward by embracing its core values. Its history served as a guide and return to grassroots activism could enable them to rekindle their once passionate following. Yeah. So if Anonymous did pull off the release of the FC files, that would be straight up huge. But so far, from what I'm seeing, and I'm going to lay it out right now. What we're seeing is a lot of infighting on TikTok. Infighting. And that's all we're seeing. Within Anonymous is an infighting, Kind of like a equivalent to the Sith infighting. That's how when there's infighting with the group, it completely erodes their credibility. It erodes their relevancy. So QAnon, so Conspiracy Anonymous is talking, just talking. I've looked for where I could Google, Go, Fortune, wherever I can look. I nothing there, no evidence there, But if Anonymous does pull off something huge, Anonymous during the earlier times would have pulled it off today. Because PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, Sony, HP Gary firm, all that shit, If those guys, if Anonymous at that time pulled off the biggest leak ever with the Epstein files, that would have been huge. That would have been huge. But Sabu, that's fat fuck. Yeah. He was. Because of him, because that fat fuck, Sabu, yeah, that fat fuck, Because of him, it made a big dent in the trust of Anonymous. Big trust. It was a truck size dent. And here's a guy who created LoSec, a offshoot of Anonymous, right? Working with the feds. He destroyed his own group that he created by working with the feds. The feds gave him a computer infected, but yet he used it to, So it's. I mean, again, still. I mean, I'm still a fan and supporter of Anonymous. But the thing is, we need to get back to where we need to be. Enough with the infighting. Enough. I mean, we need to get back to being relevant. we need to get back to get that trust back. You know, I admit, as a supporter, as a supporter and follower of this, we need to stop the bullshit. We need. I mean, this shit is fucking getting. I mean, what Sabu did, what that fat fuck did, caused a lot of people trust that faltered because that fat fuck, you know. We need to stop with this with the disinformation from people that talking just to hear themselves talk big, but get kind of itchy when you mention. Let me refresh here. We need to stop with the disinformation from people that want to come on, talk big, talk like there's somebody thinking they got something. You know, they don't. It's all talk. It's all smoke and mirror bullshit, man. We need to get back to where we were 12 years ago. That's a point where we need to be before the Sabu bullshit. Okay, if it not, I mean, plus stop with the infighting bullshit on TikTok. Get off of TikTok, man, because that's where a lot of shit's happening. A lot of bullshitters on TikTok thinking, "Oh wow, we're cyber guys." No, you're not. You're shit talkers, man. You're shit talkers. Cyber guys. You're a shit talker, man. That's all it is. Just shit talking, man. If you really want to get the point, get off your rat, get up, pull your head out of your ass, and do something about it. Do something about it. Okay. Is there still credibility? Some could is there still some credibility with Anonymous? Is there still some relevancy within Anonymous? Yeah, but we got people who's using the Anonymous name to make cash. That's not how we work. We do it because it needs to be done. We need to expose and destroy the status quo. We need to get where the people need us to be. We need to expose the bullshit. We need to build bridges strong enough to where it won't get burnt. Because Sabu, that fat fuck, because of his actions, the bridge was nuked because of this fat fuck working with the feds. The bridge was stable. Things were getting done. PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, they were getting exposed. Sony was getting exposed. HB Gary, security firm, was getting exposed, man. Stupidville, Ohio got exposed because a 16-year-old girl got raped by a few football players at a party, and they posted on the internet. And when it happened, the whole school, the whole town of Stupidville, Ohio, wanted to cover it up to protect a couple of football players because over there, in Ohio, football is gospel. So what happened? Anonymous exposed the whole entire town for covering up a rape of a 16-year-old girl at a party by a few football players. Two of them were sent to the wolves. And the town was like, why are a bunch of freaks, why are a bunch of people in masks trying to scare us? Because We know. We're going to make sure. No. If you're going to cover up some bullshit like that, and you're putting football over a victim, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Because 16 years old, got treated like shit by some football players. Two of them had their season ended because they're fucking bullshit. One cried, "I don't want to go to jail." Too bad, motherfucker. You fucked up when you, with your buddies, raped a 16-year-old girl. They tried to cover it up, but Anonymous came in. That time. That was their prime. That was their prime moment here. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, HP Carrier Security Firm, you name it, the whole thing. Fox News, CNN, they did what they did. If Anonymous 12 years ago, 13 years ago, right? If they pulled off the biggest leak ever, this time, it would have been fucking huge. Been fucking huge ever since Snowden, man. But I looked, Tin Man looked, couldn't find anything about that. So, Conspiracy Anonymous, Conspiracy Anonymous, dude, you were talking outside of your neck, man. We looked for what you told us. We looked and looked, nothing. Google, Go, Fortune, we looked, nothing, man. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. We got bullshit from a disinformation guy. Okay? That's what we got. But the bullshit. That's all we got. It's bullshit we got, I'm usually the quiet guy in the group, the quiet guy, and kind of observe. I've always been a observer, and I listen, and I get my thoughts, and I collect, and I give my thoughts, and I share my thoughts, and I ask questions, questions that people were like, "Hey, I don't know about that. I'm getting itchy in my bunghole." But the thing is, if that ever happened, if Anonymous did release the Epstein files, everything from the plane list, who flew more out there, the who's who on the list, the whole shebang. Holy crap! That would have been the biggest fucking leak ever since Snowden, dude. Like fuck, man. But we got bullshit from Conspiracy Anonymous. We got bullshit from that guy. Came on to the Roundtable 2 weeks in a row. Like, dude, you bullshit us, man. But we will never, ever be discredited because the thing is, dude, you're bullshitting us. And when we ask questions, you got itchy. Somehow you got disconnected. Oh my God, wow, what's going on here? Could it be that we were asking questions that was like basically roasting the shit you're telling us? And when QAnon was mentioned, I don't want to. Like, why are you getting itchy over QAnon? Dude? QAnon is the internet equivalent of Dread Pirate Roberts. So my thing is, dude, you pretty much fucked yourself, man. Conspiracy Anonymous, You pretty much came on the Roundtable and fucked yourself, dude. You fucked yourself, man. Dude, you are equivalent to YRV, man. Conspiracy Anonymous, you are nothing more than the equivalent to YRV. No more, no less, equivalent. Getting itchy over all. I don't over QAnon. Oh, I don't want to go there. Really, dude? Really? You are the equivalent modern day YRV, dude. Came on the red table, thought, hey, dude, you fucked yourself, man. You expose yourself when we ask questions and try. Basically, we debunked your ass, man. Pretty much, we debunked your ass. Okay? QAnon. Even my dog was laughing at you, man. Yeah, even my dog was laughing at you, man. And she's asleep. Dude, you told us about how Anonymous allegedly released the Epstein files, man. Wow. We looked. Like, dude, we even looked for articles. You know, couldn't find a goddamn thing. I looked on ground news on every single news out there. Nothing about Anonymous or the Epstein files. Nothing. But when we asked the question, but when QAnon was mentioned, dude, you're YRV. Instead of calling yourself Conspiracy Anonymous, you should call yourself YRV Light. Conspiracy Anonymous, aka YRV Light. Yeah. Yeah, but girl, yeah, you tell him, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I mean, dude, I mean, this is what we're talking about, okay? The thing is, this is what Anonymous fought years ago. Fought against this disinformation. Okay, that's what they did for years, man. You know, the one anonymous member that's still out there, AV unit, AV unit. I've talked to the guy, the most one hacker of all time, AV unit. He's legit. He's legit. Was wanted, but legit. You know. All right, folks, if you're new to this channel, like, subscribe, comment below, hit the bell for notification. Always live healthy, happy, and wise. I love you guys. And we'll all see you next time in the next video. Peace out. Godspeed. Buddha bless. And we are anonymous. We are legion. We don't forgive. We do not forget. Expect us. Peace.